Hello there, my name is Sammy Wunder. I am a certified dating and relationship coach and feminine energy mentor for the fiercely successful woman who also wants to be fiercely loved. And I am here to answer an amazing question I received from one of my clients, which is, Sammy, how do you connect with a man's heart? Now, the reason why I think this question is brilliant, it's because when I was dating and when I was a single woman, I remember that every time I liked a man or every time I felt attracted to a man, I somehow went into my mental energy, my masculine energy, and I started to suppress my emotions and started to get very analytical about what I should do or say in order to please the man in front of me who I liked. So this was one of my chief struggles. You know, when I liked the guy, I would start getting into my analytical energy and wondering how can I, know what he's thinking? How can I connect with him more? How can I show him how amazing I am? And how can I establish a deeper emotional bond with him? And just that very act of thinking so much about a man and being so analytical and overthinking about what he would like and how should I connect with him actually made me disconnect with him and actually pushed the very man away that I wanted to bring closer to me. And if you have a similar struggle where you like a man and then you find yourself feeling nervous or you find yourself trying too hard in order to make a connection with him, then the 3 steps that I'm going to be giving you today are going to change the way you do intimacy with men, and you are going to get results. Of course, as you know, my love story is a fabulous success story of a woman who overcame a lot of her own struggles in order to be loved by an amazing husband today and be very, very happy mom myself. So I hope these 3 steps that I'm giving you today, which helped me so very much in overcoming this emotional suppression that I was doing around men, will also help you. So let's quickly get on to what these 3 steps are. The first step is, and this should not come as a surprise, the way to connect with a man's heart is all about connecting with your own heart. I'm going to repeat this. The way to connect with a man's heart is all about learning how to connect with your own heart. So in the presence of a man that you like, instead of trying to connect with him, in his presence, try to connect with your own heart. And what does that look like? What does it look like to connect with your own heart? To connect with your own heart, simply put, looks like connecting with your feelings, connecting with your emotional side in his presence. As you see, the focus is not at all on him. The focus is, what am I feeling in his presence, and being able to express that in his presence. So what usually happens is, because I am a strong and successful woman myself, and that's the kind of woman I serve, a lot of us strong and successful women, we are so much in our heads and we are so much in our masculine energy as we go about our day, organizing meetings, getting things done, managing our kids, managing homes, organizing conferences, doing business travel. So we're all about doing. And when we do so much, which is essentially masculine energy, there is a certain emotional suppression that happens where we are not really in tune with what we are feeling. So, of course, masculine energy is important because it helps you pay your bills, it helps you do your job. But when it comes to your intimate relationship, when it comes to your romantic relationship, what you want to do is you want to tune into your feelings, which is basically switching into your feminine energy when you're around a man. So I just want to break it down a bit so that you can really go on after this video and be able to apply this new information, because it is life-changing when you can actually, after this video, go back and do this with your husband, your boyfriend, or any man that you're seeing or dating. So, for instance, men ask similar questions every day. My husband returns every day and asks, so how was your day? And usually, if I were in my masculine energy, I would say it was fine, it was good, it was okay. But when I tune into my feminine, I actually pick up a moment in the day or from the day when I felt something. So I would say something like, oh, I feel really tired from the day, and it felt so good to actually go into the warm bath, and that felt really good. Yeah. Or another example, your date asks you or gives you a call at night and says, so how are you doing? The usual questions men ask. And you want to use that opportunity not to give your autopilot default, it was good, it was great answers, but you actually want to tune in. You want to tune in either to how you're feeling in the moment. Feels great to hear from you. This feels wonderful. How wonderful to hear your voice. Feels great. Or you want to tune into something from the day where you felt something. So, oh, it felt so good to go swimming today. I felt so refreshed, and I feel so energized when I go out and do something good for myself. And this might seem easy and simple and basic, but just tuning into your emotional energy, tuning into your heart energy, is actually triggering the emotional energy within a man, because men are not so much in access with their emotions as we women are. And when you are able to be in connection with your own heart in front of a man, he is able to tune into his own emotional realm, into his own heart in your presence. And that's what starts to make him feel safe with you. That's what starts to inspire emotional connection with you. All right, so the way to connect with a man's heart is to not try to connect with his heart. The way to connect with a man's heart is to connect more deeply with your own heart, which literally transforms or means connect with your feelings. So that's step number one. And that is basically the most important step. Yeah, if you can introduce this, I talk about this in a lot of detail. I call it the Dream Girl Communication Tool in my Leap into Love program, which is the advanced program for single women who want to attract their soulmates. I call this the Dream Girl Communication. And if you can start implementing this in your daily life, with men you like, with men you don't like, you're gonna establish that emotional rapport, that emotional connection with men that you like around you without trying hard to establish that connection. So it's all about going deeper within yourself, ladies. It's not about trying hard to connect with the man. Now, step number two, in order to foster emotional intimacy and connect more deeply with a man, is to create that space. Create that space and enjoy those silences in the relationship that actually allow him to tune into his feeling space with you. So very often what happens is that when we like a man, we get chatty, blah, 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 blah. And we feel anxiety if we're not saying something. We feel anxiety or nervous if there is an awkward moment of silence. And as women practicing the wonder work, as women practicing feminine energy embodiment, I want you to understand that romance and love actually develops in those silent spaces. You don't want to fight that silence. You want to love that silence. You want to feel the joy of the moment in that silence when you're with a man, instead of getting all nervous. Because once again, remember, just as I said in the first step, men are not so good at tuning into their feelings, you know. It's amazing when I see how many emotions I feel in a day. And then I watch my husband, who just goes about his day as the most stoic person, and he hardly feels anything, and he hardly has an emotional reaction to anything except to me, of course. Yeah, so it just goes on to show that how men are, so different to us women when it comes to love and romance, and men need that space, that silence, in order to really tune into what they're feeling in the moment. And as a feminine energy goddess, as a feminine energy Wunder Diva, you want to be okay in those moments of silence. You don't want to overcome that silence. You don't want to fight that silence. You actually want to enjoy that silence and remind yourself that romance develops in those silent spaces, in those mysterious places. And that is where a man is actually being able to feel your presence. Yeah? Romance for men, falling in love for men, is all about the feeling realm. It's not about the mental realm. Yeah, we women fall in love and love a man when we are having an amazing conversation with him. But that's very mental for men, and it almost always will make you end up in the friendship zone with a man. When you're looking at entering a romantic zone with a man, you want to make sure you're doing it by entering through the emotional realm, and it has nothing to do with his emotions and everything to do with you being able to tune in to your emotions and being able to share them and being able to express them in his presence. Remember, as a caveat, this doesn't mean that you have to share your feelings about him, or you constantly have to share every negative feeling you get. We're talking more about learning to take baby steps, smaller steps, where you can share how your day was with a feeling, or share what you did at work with a feeling. Basically introduce more of your feeling terminology, dream girl communication in your interactions with men. Now, what is step number 3? Step number 3 is the last step, and this is more of a generic step, but ever so powerful. If you can be present with a man and just shine and radiate your light, that is all you need to do in order to grasp, or in order to capture his imagination, capture his heart. Now, what happens is that when we like a man, and when we care about a man, and when we want something more with him, it could be your boyfriend, rotational date, a man that you've just started to see or feel attracted to, we often get into our head energy, and we get into this analytical space where we are like, am I doing this right? Should I do it differently? Did I say the right thing? I don't want to overdo this. I don't want to appear overeager. And what we don't understand is that just being in that analytical space is masculine. What we need to do in order to foster a real connection with a man is to just be present in the moment. Not in the past, not in the future, not analyzing and overthinking what is the right move with him, but just being present in our full authentic energy and radiating our light. And the more you are in touch with what is good about you, the more you are grateful for who you are and what you have in your life, the more you will naturally radiate that light. You will naturally radiate that happiness. So this last step, even though it sounds a bit generic, it is so important in capturing a man's heart, because when you can be in this space where you are present, you're non-judgmental, you are non-critical, you are grateful for who you are grateful for who he is, it is naturally going to radiate happiness and joy out of your being. And that is one of the things that captures a man's attention like nothing else, and actually captures his heart and captures his imagination, and it makes him want, all these 3 steps that I have given you will make him want to overcome his fears and commit to you. So remember, at the bottom of this entire message is the bottom line message that the way to connect with a man's heart is about connecting with our own heart, tuning into our own feelings, and being able to express those feelings in a man's presence. And it's not about trying hard to connect with him. It's not about strategizing how you can connect with him, but really being in your full feminine presence, radiating that light, radiating your emotional expansion, so to speak, your full-bodied presence and vibration in his presence that is going to capture his heart. Last but not the least, ladies, remember that love happens at the realm of emotions. Love happens at the realm of the heart. Love doesn't happen in the realm of the mind, which is mental and which is masculine. So I hope that after watching today's video, you will go ahead and get in more tune and more in touch with what you're feeling. And instead of suppressing those feelings and being all mental around the men you like, you are going to share those feelings and become highly expressive about those feelings in the presence of the men you like. And if you have liked this video, if you have felt that this has been helpful for you, then I have 2 little action steps for you. One is to like this video, send me some hearts so that the message of how to connect with a man's heart can be spread to many, many more strong and successful women who are struggling in love out there. And the number 2 action step you have to take is to sign up for my free newsletters, absolutely free, where I send you a lot of amazing information and free tips on how to have the most amazing relationship, how to attract your soulmate. And step number 3, last but not the least, is to join my Wunder Diva community. So I'm going to leave the links to both my free newsletters and to my Wunder Diva group, and I hope to see you all there. Until then, lots of love, and make sure you check out the resources available on my website, www.sammywunder.com, WUNDER.com. I love you all, and I believe in every woman's birthright to have the most amazing love and relationship. See you soon. Bye, girls.